It's coffee time with John. 10 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be 70 today. Beautiful, beautiful day today. I have been working long hours. I'm averaging 4 days a week. I'm averaging 12 hours at a minimum. Those are 12 hours with me literally doing private readings or working on videos or just John of New stuff. And it's 12 hours a day, 4 days a week. And then on Friday, I'm writing my book. That's my writer's day. Saturday is a day with my son usually. And Sunday is usually a day where I have one of my membership meetings and work on the things I need to work around my house. And then Monday I started all over again. When the universe shows you what you're feeling, it works with your feelings. And last night, the last thing I did on my 12 hours yesterday was my membership meeting. And I went into that membership meeting exhausted, worn out. And I literally, at the beginning of that meeting, was just rubbing my face and just like, oh my God, I feel so worn down. I feel so deflated. It had just been a lot of work. But I was really not feeling like I was enjoying the work at the time. And of course, a lot of that changes when I get in my membership group because we laugh. And the laughter is so empowering. But, I had been burning the candle at both ends for so long that I was just really needing that break. But the reason I'm making this video is because I wanted to talk about how quickly the world manifests around you. So, right up until yesterday afternoon, everything was going along smokingly well. It was just like, wow, we're just zipping through, things are great. And then it all caught up with me. Within an hour of my mood shifting and me being beat down, I had 3 separate people comment negatively to me about something I either said or did. One of them went so far as to call me the most sick pastor she'd ever heard, which made me laugh because the thought that she thought I was a pastor, but the fact that she reached out just to slander. I had somebody else who, because I said I didn't drink, chose to believe I was judging people who do. Didn't say that at all. I didn't even remotely think that. But he reached out to say that I thought the drinkers were inferior, and he reached out just because of his own struggles, but he reached out just to throw some negative energy. Then there was another one, and I can't even remember what the third one was, but it was just something about getting bad advice from spiritual teachers or something. It was I forget what it was, but when it hit me, it was like, why am I getting these negative responses? Why am I getting these judgments? Why am I getting these powerful negative slanders? And I realized that my mood had shifted, which meant my belief shifted. Because God speaks to us in our feelings. And when you allow your feelings to go to a place of negativity, negative things will automatically come into your life, and they'll come in very quickly. They'll come in very quickly. I always talk about living a loving life and being very conscious of what you're living, and being in that state of recognizing where you are and feeling what you believe, and literally taking the time to acknowledge when you feel bad or feel good, and actively changing it. And I don't tend to respond negatively to criticisms like that, or and I'm very blessed in regards that 99% of my videos have 100% like, and very few don't. And let me just add this to this concept. It's not the idea of this video, but what I find interesting about the ones that put dislikes, they typically don't reply. The one with the sickest pastor, I don't know whether she disliked or not, but I'm sure that was probably after a dislike. So that was like the first person I've ever seen that I think dropped a negative and then made a comment. Most of them don't make a comment at all. They just hit the negative button. And what I find really interesting about the negatives that came in yesterday, it was on a video that the focus of the whole video was love is never wrong, but because of the putting homosexuality in the Bible in the same sentence, it was like 5 people within a couple of hours disliked that video. And the only reason they disliked that video had nothing to do with me. Had everything to do with them being wrong, or them thinking I thought they were wrong, or more importantly, them being right. They had to be right, and homosexuality had to be wrong because of their judgmental God. And but I found it interesting. We had so many dislikes, and like I said, 5 dislikes. When you've got a couple hundred dislikes or whatever, a couple hundred likes, 5 dislikes is really not much. But I typically don't get them. I mean, the videos on my channel that have the most dislikes are the ones that have a couple thousand views, right? But they're like, it's still under 10, right? It's crazy how the good feedback I get. But I also found it interesting that people decided that yesterday was the day that he needed to drop all the dislikes, right? So it was the day when I was getting worn down. My emotions were going to that space of tired, worn out, not really. And pardon me, by the end of the day, I was focused on it. I was focused on how hard it is and how tired I am, and what did the universe show me? All the things that make me tired and worn out and exhausted, because that's where my mind was. That's where my focus was. And by being able to sit out here this morning and drink my coffee and recognize that, it lets me realize that I can shift at any moment, at any time. I had one of the subscribers yesterday has been working on getting me on a big interview, and yesterday there was a contact from that organization to look into it at least. So that was a real big positive for me, is that someone is in the process. Someone is caring enough to help me get onto an interview, but number 2, someone is on the other side is actually opening. That's a beautiful movement, a beautiful manifestation in action. So you have to recognize when you are in those negative states, because sometimes you just get worn down, you just get tired, and you drop into those states, and then you got to go, oh, look, I'm focused on crap, and crap is coming. Right? I want to say this in closing of this video. As always, I'm saying this again for any of you who are listening. In these videos, I am speaking my truth. I don't expect you to follow it. It's not about you. It's about my personal truth. It's not a personal attack on you in any way, shape, or form, because I believe something. Spirituality is a personal journey. And if you're in those states of negativity, if you're lashing out at someone, then I would suggest you look at your personal beliefs, because the lashing out is a negative emotion you're having, not the person you're lashing out. That's just trying to inflict a negative emotion on somebody else. And it really comes down to you realizing that you're creating your experience, and you're the one having a bad one right now. You're the one who has chosen to lash out and tell someone they're sick, or tell someone that they think they're superior, or tell someone that they're just a bad teacher, or you're the one who's mad. And that's okay. You can be mad. You're allowed to be mad. But don't be mad because you're projecting your beliefs on someone else. Because you have no idea what that other person's thinking unless they tell you. And I haven't told you what I'm thinking about you. I'm telling you my personal beliefs, my personal truth. And it's for each one of us to discern what is true for them and live their truths to be their authentic self. And take the moments where you are not doing as well and recognize that you're not, and redirect. That's my thought on this. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. The John of New channel is solely funded by your generous donations and purchases of private readings and merchandise. To help out, go to johnofnew.com or use the donation link in the description below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.